Hello and welcome to another edition of Karjaka and Coffee. I'm Alexander Karjaka and I'm working on my radio voice. Anyway, this is episode 9 of season 2, and today I wanted to talk about how you view your photos. How do you view your images when you get them back from me, or any photographer for that matter? I was on the subway with a friend the other day, and I'm going to take a little sip. This little wonderful, what is this? Lennox espresso cup, another family favorite. I was on the subway with a friend. She was looking at her new photos that she had done from her actor headshots, which I do from time to time, but they weren't for me. And she was looking at them for the first time, sitting next to me and all excited. And she's questioning the color. She's excited, but she's questioning the color and how things look and how bright they are or how dark they are. And we're all doing this from the comfort of the N train here in Astoria. And what I can tell you is probably not the best place to look at your photographs is on a train or in a car or in an airplane. And what I mean by that is photos are large, right? But if you're looking at them at the size of your iPhone, or they're meant to be viewed on a larger screen for starters, right? Second of all, your photographer, if they're worth any salt, worked painstakingly to get those colors and details correct in a dark room. Now, I'm not saying you have to go into your bedroom and close all the windows and the blinds and whatnot and look in a dark space by any means. But what I am saying is that if you're on the train, for example, I see this all the time, and I get this with my own clients where I have to be like, don't forget to look them in kind of a neutral place. When you're looking at photos on a train, for example, you got yellow fluorescent lights, or you've got the blue from the sky, that's outside, and you've got multiple different colors, white balances that are happening as you're looking at something on a glass phone versus looking at on a flat screen, which also is a piece of glass, versus having we use E09 monitors, which are different monitors for editing, and I won't go into all that. But that being said, is how you view your images. I would suggest, while you may not be a photographer, I look at your photographs in different places. Look them in the sunlight. Look at them in a darker setting. Look at them on your phone. Look at them on the computer, as we hoped you all would. And then more importantly, make sure that you have your phone at least on 50% resolution, exposure or brightness on your phone, so that you can get a general understanding of where your photographer, like me, has spent time trying to get the image to look great across all platforms. Now, here's the thing. How your image looks also on your computer or on your phone is going to differ when it's printed in the real world. Printing is not an exact 1-to-1 ratio, but when you work with people like me and Karjaka Imaging, we spend a lot of time to have that matched pretty seamlessly. So that being said, take everything with a grain of salt when you're looking through the first images. The first look, whether it's on your phone, when you go through excitement, which is great, but also make sure you look at it on the large screen, right? Because it's going to live on a website, or it's going to live in print. When it lives in a different computer, on a Dell computer versus a Mac computer versus whatever other, the big LG TV screen versus, the smallest of small iPads or whatever. Take kind of an aggregate before I start making judgments on calls, or enjoy the excitement, but just know that there's going to be some discrepancy. The way your phone looks is going to have a different color balance than might be your computer or your TV. And there's kind of a balancing act that you have to kind of do. And so when there is a problem, you can go back to your photographer or somebody like me and be like, hey, I was looking at this way, or I was looking at that way. What's the best way to view this? Or can we see a proof, like a printed proof, to have an idea of which every photographer is going to be really excited to send you a printed proof, or meet up and say, hey, why don't you come by the studio? We'll take a look, because this is what I was thinking when I color graded this for you. Anyway, little bits of thought process on there, because at the end of the day, you've got different colors, different contrast, different ways light is being applied through glass so that you may see things. But just kind of take a balance of it. The essence of the photograph will always be there, the energy, the overall quality of light, the composition, but there are those little nuances, those little details which I want you to focus on, because that's what a Karjaka portrait is, those little details. But also make sure that while you don't have to be in a dark room, you can be in more favorable conditions when looking at your photographs. Anyway, this is, Justin, this is episode 9, yeah? Episode 9, he says, from the control booth. I'm Alexander Karjaka, for those of you speaking Slavic, wishing you the best. Cheers.